All right. I filed my amended complaint with Minnehaha County requesting for $2.8 million and pursuant to South Dakota Codified Law 16-18-28 is treble damages. So maybe 2.8 times 3. I don't know. Very interesting about this case is that as soon as I filed it on the 12th, now Kristi Noem would like to come out and say that she's doing an investigation on the DOC. Well, Sonny Walters is DOC. Well, he threw my case for DOC because I recorded them for embezzling. So it's whistleblower retaliation is what they call that. So DOC punished me. I did everything that they told me to do. They let me out for a 6 DUI, and I hired Sonny Walters to privately retain him, instructed him to do a subpoena, instructed him to get letters, instructed him to get stuff that he didn't do. He refused. And why? Because DOC told him, screw me over. So he screwed me over. So I told him, I wrote him a demand letter saying we can avoid going to court. Because, once we go to court, it's public. So once I filed it on the 12th, now Kristi Noem wants to do an investigation into DOC. All right. I think maybe she's just trying to back herself up so she doesn't look involved, maybe. Or, I don't know. But to raise the question, I wrote a letter to Kristi Noem in prison. Mike Leadholt, Secretary of Corrections, responded to that letter. And I asked them, okay, I don't want to respond from you. I want to respond from Kristi Noem. Okay, I don't even know if she got that letter. So let's ask Kristi about that. So there's a lot of questions that are going to be unanswered. I wrote a very good letter, and I informed all of this to, I think, Kellerland, November 7th, 2017, November 9th, 2017, at the Arch. I called the newscast, let them know I recorded them for embezzling, reported it to DCI. Yes, DCI was unresponsive. I told them it was a RICO conspiracy, racketeering influence corrupt organizations. St. Francis, the Arch, all of them, they're nonprofit organizations. They contract with DOC to get all of this funding, this money, Sabisa, grants, blah, blah, blah. And what I did is I recorded them because it's not illegal to record somebody without their knowledge. And so DOC knew I had this evidence against them. My parole officer, Scott Day, texted me. He said, if you don't sign that paper, you're going to be detained. It was for accredited funding. They wanted to override Flandreau, get the money. I knew it was wrong. I went to Wilton Walter Law Firm, and I asked him, I said, what is this? He said verbatim, the guy Mark, he says verbatim, he says, yes, it's double dipping, but why do you care? So I go and get a DUI, and they lock me up for years, but they can embezzle, nothing happens to them. Well, this is going to come out when they ask Sonny Walters, how come you didn't subpoena? How come you didn't get these letters? How come you didn't do what she instructed you to? How come? She told you not to do PSA. Why did you sabotage her, Sonny? You've been a lawyer for 33 years. What is your answer, Sonny? Why did you do that? And I also requested for a motion to terminate his license since he violated the professional rules for conduct for attorneys and client privileges. He abused it. He took an oath and he disobeyed it. He didn't abide by the rules. So for that reason, his license should be terminated. And he told me he's got persuasion with his court. Judge Sandra Hansen dismissed my case in favor of him. I wish that they would get the videos of that court hearing, because that's when they will see that she lit up like a Christmas tree, like she had a crush on him. Like, I knew right at that moment I was going to get screwed. I knew they weren't going to stay in favor because, yep, Sonny Walters, he represented Govnor Duugaurds' daughter on her 6 DUI. This is how he enticed for me to retain him. This is what he said. You can't make competitive statements. So in the evidentiary hearing, it came out. It said, Brandon Tallifer asked him, he says, so did you represent the governor's daughter on her 6 DUI? He said, yes. How come this wasn't public? How come we didn't know about this? How come this wasn't on the news? Because the news is controlled by the state of South Dakota. I've contacted Angela Kennedy, her actually for her program about Southeast and them denying me help, and the media, they won't assist because they're controlled off. We should have known about Govnor Duugaurds' daughter getting a 6 DUI. I don't know who she is, but this is in a court transcript hearing. everything's gonna get exploited now. And maybe it's because I filed the case against Sonny. So, here I am. It's July 14th, a day after 3 years. Well, I filed it the day before so I wouldn't dismiss my statute of limitation. On the 12th, I filed it. Now, that was on Monday. Tuesday, Kristi Noem comes out saying she wants to do an investigation on DOC, knowing that Sonny Walters is former inmate, in-house attorney contracted for DOC. Now, I didn't know this, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason. Jesus Christ is Lord, and this is gonna get exploited. Whistleblower retaliation. I have evidence. Hardcore. I got an iPhone. Can't delete shit. Digital footprint. Everything I recorded. I even recorded myself at Mark Welch's law firm. Okay, so. And this is just a string of stuff. This opens up the whole shenanigans of everything. I would like to see if I think her name was, I don't know. But I sent all this stuff. I reported to DOC wants to get investigated. I put in a complaint. I was, what should I call it? I can't remember what it was yesterday, but I think it was a sexual harassment. I was made a comment by an officer, and it was my ADHD, because they won't treat me for my ADHD. They take me off my medication. And Sonny Walters, so ironically, he's the one who said, Sonny Walters said that it's illegal for them to not give you your medication. Like in prisons, like diabetic needs insulin, you know? Like you can't take me off my meds and expect me to, and so I sat years, because my ADHD was so bad. And because they wouldn't treat me, so I get right up at the write-up, lose my automatic. Every year I probably sat in prison. I should get $1 million for that too. Took my life away from me. And then he says, have at it. He told me, dream on. Here's where I went. Govnor Duugaurds law firm. I had a GPS ankle monitor on too in 2017. I had a GPS monitor on. I was going to church. I was going to AA. I was doing everything. And DOC punished me. And I wrote letters and I wanted to ask. And I saved everything. I said, I want to ask Ed Leitenberg. Wrote him a letter. I wrote Mike Rounds. I just went to John Thune's office just a couple weeks ago, asked to come talk to him. They said, we contacted you. Bullshit. I don't see no number come up on my thing. This whole state is corrupt. And I feel like I'm like a little Edward Snowden, little snowball. I'm an Eskimo. And I want justice reform. They shouldn't be allowed to be doing shit just for fucking money, fucking people's lives over, just because they want to get greedy. I'm a human. And that's not right to do that. So, I fuck with the wrong person. And guess what made me so smart? It's prison. After year, it just took me. And maybe everything happened for a reason. Jesus. I was the one person to speak up and do something. And just so you guys know, if they kill me, oh my God. It's like some Jeffrey Epstein shit. It was DOC. All right. So I have hardcore evidence. I have like over 13 hours of audio and visual. This is over several corporations, facilities, nonprofit organizations, the Good Sam. What is it? The VA. Oh, the VA here is really bad. So all of that will get exploited. All of it. Audio, recording, visual. The stuff I have is mind-blowing. And I just wonder, is it because, you know, it's a string of activities, but stay tuned, guys. We're up to 10 minutes, so I gotta go. I'll keep you guys updated. But Sonny did get served yesterday. Served him on that day, I think. I think it was just right the next day. Sonny knows. And then once Sonny got served, I think then he's got a hold of, he probably called Duugaurds, said, oh shit, what do I do? And Duugaurds called Noem and said, oh shit, man, we better start doing something. That's what happened. Bet.